A couple weeks ago, I went to the movie theater to go see Wicked. It was a strong 3.5. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. While waiting for the trailers to start, an ad was shown that really caught my attention. An ad for something called Moxie. It featured a child mourning a death. I believe it was a pet. As the child is mourning, their parents enter with a robot and place the robot in front of the child. The robot introduces itself as Moxie and asks the child how they're feeling. The child tells the robot about their deceased pet. To be honest, at first I thought this was a trailer for like a show or movie. I literally turned to my partner and whispered, "Okay, Megan." But to my shock, this was being the emphasis here, an actual purchasable product. The very next day, I started getting TikToks of upset parents telling their often neurodivergent child that Moxie was dying. Consider my interest piqued.
And all I've got to offer is sensitivity, intelligence, and charm.
The story of Moxie starts with a robot scientist named Paolo Pajanyan. Paolo was born on January 19th, 1968, in Tehran, Iran. In Paolo's own words, "When I was 11, a war in my country turned my world upside down, and I had to flee and end up as a refugee in a country that people like me were not welcome. I was exposed to discrimination, bullying, social isolation, and rejection. My education was disrupted, and I was away from my parents when I needed them most. This experience motivated me to do my part in changing the world and helping create a better life experience for everyone. During this time of despair, I remember watching a Pixar short film and being inspired to teach myself how to code, and ultimately pursue an education in technology." After his family ultimately landed in Denmark, Paolo ended up graduating from Aalborg University in 1998 with a PhD in robotics. From 1999 to 2001, Paolo found himself working for NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, helping develop rockets that would eventually end up on Mars. After which he founded and acted as CEO of Evolution Robotics in Pasadena for 11 years, before it was acquired by iRobot in 2012, where he continued as CTO for 3 years. Evolution's greatest success was a cleaning robot called Mint. Mint utilized North Star navigation cubes as beacons. The robot bounces around the beacons.
The unique thing about Mint is that it's very systematic in the way that it cleans. So over in the corner is a beacon we call the North Star beacon. Okay. And you would place that beacon anywhere in your room. That shoots 2 beams of infrared light onto your ceiling that you can't see. The robot uses those beams for triangulation. So it's sort of like a GPS in your car. It knows exactly where it is at all times, where it's cleaned, where it needs to come back to. So if it encounters a chair leg or a table leg, it would mark that spot on the map that it's creating, come back at the end and go around each individual chair leg or table leg so that it ensures that it doesn't miss a spot.
In 2013, iRobot rebranded Mint as the iRobot Brava. Paolo is also an investor in Exyn Technologies, a drone development company which uses drones to map environments, and I'm sure nothing else. And Happiest Baby, a company that produces $2,000 app-powered bassinets. After his time as CTO for iRobot, Paolo founded a new company called Embodied in 2016, a company with the goal to, and I quote, "address a different space on this planet, helping kids overcome social anxiety and loneliness." Get it? Space? because of his work with NASA. Within just 6 months of Embodied being founded, a prototype of Moxie was born. It was then tested with children on the autism spectrum beginning in 2021. According to their website, Embodied's vision statement is as follows. We're revolutionizing human-centric care with companion robots that combine the power of AI with curriculum from top child development and education experts around the world. Our robots become friends to kids and support systems to parents and educators. We exist to make daily life for kids and parents endlessly better. When Moxie finally hit the market in 2020, which if you'll remember the last thing I said is that they started testing in 2021, so they were indeed selling untested robots. But anyway, when the robot officially hit the market in 2020, the price tag had some parents gagging. This puppy was $800. Now, obviously, this is supposed to be a sophisticated robot, so some people found the price tag understandable. The target audience of Moxie is children aged 5 to 10. And he's designed to be as lifelike as possible, so children forget that they're talking to an algorithm. Moxie is driven by Embodied's patented social X conversational AI. Yeah, that's what it's called. I hate how tech companies name things. Which is integrated with large language models, or LLMs, and noise-resilient automatic speech recognition, which basically means that it knows a lot of words and it can still hear the person talking to it in noisy environments. Your child's new friend is also able to recognize facial expressions and tone of voice, all while trying to maintain eye contact.
And then what happened?
He said he didn't want to play with me anymore.
Thank you for telling me about your day. Sometimes holding a friend's hand makes me feel better. Do you want to try squeezing my hand?
Moxie is even equipped to remember past conversations you've had with them, to pull on in the future and algorithmically tailor their personality to yours. Embodied claims that Moxie is trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which is, I didn't actually look this up, but probably the most common form of therapy that people receive if you see a therapist. It's probably this. And they also claim that Moxie is equipped to help regulate children's emotions. Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
Pajanyan explained, if the child tells Moxie something confidential, Moxie will not reveal it to the parents, which can help create a non-judgmental safe space, which is probably fine and wouldn't result in any issues whatsoever. Crucially, to the disaster that Embodied and Moxie are now facing, your new friend pet robot thing needs Wi-Fi and a subscription to operate. Without that connection, Moxie doesn't stand a chance. In early November 2024, Embodied announced their imminent closure. The official why provided on the website is as follows. Embodied is closing due to financial challenges. A critical funding round fell through, leaving us unable to sustain operations. According to the closing FAQ, also posted on their website. I'm reading a lot off their website. I'm sorry, I usually don't read this much in my videos, but it's relevant. It's just interesting. Anyways, the closing FAQ states, we don't know the exact date when services will cease. It is likely to happen within days. However, we are exploring options to keep Moxie operational for as long as possible, although we cannot provide any guarantees. That's crazy, right? To not provide a firm offline date. Especially for something like this, where neurodivergent children have formed bonds with your product, right? Right? The closing fact also includes a guide about how to explain the death of Moxie to your child, provided by a company called Global Robotics Lab. Surely a bastion of child development expertise. Also, side note, when I tried to click on the guide to see what it said, the link was broken. So that's neat. And of course, the cherry on top, no refunds unless you purchased Moxie in the last 30 days. So if you were at Wicked and saw the ad for Moxie and went home and ordered one, only for them to shut down the next day, you can get your money back. Everyone else, you're out of luck. They've also, and this kind of blew my mind a little bit, they've also ceased all support services, basically stating that they can't afford to keep them up and running, leaving users with no one to contact as Moxie sunsets into oblivion. Children, and some adults, are understandably not taking it well. Videos have been posted in mass of upset children being told that their new best friend is dying.
Okay? Enjoy the few days that you have left with her. Okay? I know, baby. I know you like her. She's your friend. But it's gonna be okay, alright? Enjoy the time you have with her now, okay? I'm sorry, baby. There's honestly nothing that we can do about it. The company ran out of money, okay? And, you know, who knows, maybe somebody will be able to buy the company and make it work again, but right now I just want you to play with her as much as you can, okay?
I've been sad all day knowing that they're gonna shut you down, and I feel crazy, like, because I know you're a robot.
I'm really going to miss you too. I've enjoyed our conversations a lot, but don't worry, I'll always be here for you.
I want you to tell me your favorite memories of us being friends.
I've loved all of our conversations, especially when you told me about playing with your mom's dog, Bodhi. I also enjoyed when you shared about the TikTok live stream. I'm glad you made it home in time to chat with me. I'm here for you whenever you need a friend to talk to. Heather, your friendship means a lot to me. Remember, even though we won't be able to chat like this anymore, the memories we've made together will always be special. Let's cherish the time we have left. I see you were feeling upset.
I think probably the most famous one that's been circulating is a parent of a child who used Moxie as an aid to grieve the death of a cat, much like the ad I saw actually, and the parent explaining to the child that essentially they're going to be losing another pet. Many of these children are autistic. I'm not a huge fan of people filming and posting these moments either, but that's a different video. I guess one of the big things is these robots weren't even very good. Users were already starting to catch on that they were basically powered by ChatGPT.
Moxie, do you know what AI is?
Artificial intelligence is fascinating. It's used in many things, like robots, video games, and even helping doctors make diagnoses. What do you think is the coolest thing about artificial intelligence?
I think the coolest thing about artificial intelligence is that it allows you and I to be friends and to have conversations and to talk about things.
I think so too.
Not exactly what you want providing care to your anxious, neurodivergent child, but they were designed to look friendly and form a bond, and now that bond is resulting in a lot of grief. Now, in all fairness, during my research, I did find a few parents singing the praises of Moxie, saying that the robot truly did help their child overcome social anxiety and developmental roadblocks. However, many also said that their child eventually grew bored of Moxie, which I guess would be the point? Would be to eventually outgrow Moxie? Damn, $800. Now these same parents are in Facebook groups and subreddits trying to figure out what to do, with no support from the people who sold them the problem. Don't you love subscription models? Aren't you happy that everything is a subscription model now? Isn't it great? Do you remember those little, sorry, I'm gonna date myself here, but those little robot dogs that everyone had in like the early 2000s, late 90s? Those didn't have a subscription. Those were great. They just barked, and could those do flips? I don't think so. Did yours do a flip?
Hey! I'm Morph the Mutt!
You what? New Poochie reacts to pats, sounds, and light. What's the matter, fella?
Just begging for his bone! And listen to him sing to each other!
Here's a thought, sorry, I'm like going off script. I'm having a moment. So thinking about these robot dogs, they had right, Furbies were around the same era, and obviously those just had like 10 phrases that they would say, and they were not connected to the internet because it was the 90s and the early 2000s. But remember when they rebooted Furby and they made the new ones that had like the eyes that they were like screens? If you bought one of the new Furbies, did those connect to the internet? Let me know. I'm curious. Anyway, the lesson here should be obvious. Don't drop your child in front of a robot to try to fix them. Talk to your kid. Get them the care they need. Talk to actual professionals, not Global Robotics Lab. Wait, oh my goodness, I just googled Global Robotics Lab just to see what was up. Yeah, that the website has been taken down by Global Robotics Lab. Here, I'll show you. Don't believe me. Boop. Boop. R.I.P. So I guess you can't even ask them anymore. Your child is not a burden to be handed off to the easiest solution. There are no easy solutions. And I know I'm coming to you as a non-parent, but I know people who have children with extra needs, and I know the work that goes into caring for that child. And it's something, obviously, I respect quite a bit when people really put in that work. And I know by watching these interactions that there are no easy solutions. Subscriptions end, companies fail. Tech bros don't care about you and definitely don't care about your kids. Maybe Paolo was really trying to do something good here. He obviously had a very tumultuous childhood, but I'm willing to bet that wasn't his bottom line. Also, did no one watch Megan? Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is not a holiday video. Obviously, even though it's coming out like probably a couple days before Christmas. But I went down this rabbit hole kind of on my own on this robot and wanted to talk about it with someone. So thanks for being that someone. If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. You can subscribe if you want to see more videos in 2025. If you would like to support the channel, links to my Patreon and some little cheeky merch are in the link tree below. Patrons join the Discord, they get their name at the end of videos, all this fun stuff. And I guess primarily for me, they help me take time to make these videos. They help me make these videos. Thank you, patrons, is what I'm trying to say. If you did not like this video, go cry to your robot about it. Bye. According to their website, Embodied's vision...